welcome to the channel. This is the first video I'll be working on my Kubota. It's a 1998 Kubota B2400, and I'm trying to figure out some problems. And I figured if I make a video and put it online, maybe somebody could point me in the right direction. Because right now I'm just spending money, not really making it anywhere. So, alright. Here's the tractor. And the problem's with hydraulics, not the tractor itself. The tractor runs fine. It's just hydraulics. So what I've done so far, I've replaced all the quick couplers. One of them was bad, leaking pretty bad. So replaced that. Well, I replaced all four of them. Still didn't really make much of a difference. And obviously it fixed the leak though, that's good. And I replaced all the hoses on the loader with new hoses, thinking that was going to fix it. Didn't do anything. Let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is my up and down boom is slow and weak. It'll raise itself all the way up, raise itself down, but if I put just a little bit of dirt or any little bit of weight in that bucket, it can't lift it up. And the curl's fine. The curl, like if I curl it right now sitting where it's at, it'll physically lift the front of the tractor up and curl just fine, which is confusing, I guess. So I switched the curl to the boom, and same thing. So now my controls would be, this would be boom, and up and down would be curl. And the same thing, this is still weak, and then the curl would still be strong even though it's switched now. So which is leading me to believe, which I'm probably wrong because I have no idea, I really don't know much about hydraulics, but lead me to believe that I need to rebuild these cylinders, which I bought rebuild kits for that. And then since I replaced all these hoses, the only hoses I haven't replaced yet are these ones, but these ones don't seem in too bad a shape and they're not leaking, so I'm gonna let them ride. And I bought these three hoses, my in, out, and don't know what this one is. So there's the in hose, the out, and I think it says DFP. I'm not sure. I don't even, this just shows you how much I know. I have all the manuals and everything, but it doesn't really, the bucket manual doesn't explain too much. So I'm going to replace these three hoses I got right here from Kubota. So I'm going to do that first. I guess see if that fixes anything. And then from there I'm going to take these cylinders off and see if I've never done this before, but I imagine I can figure it out. See if I can replace the seals in those cylinders. So I'm going to set this up. We'll change those three hoses. I don't know if it'll do something. Maybe not. They don't really seem to be leaking, but I don't know. I figured it couldn't hurt. And this happened from just sitting too long. Picked it up 2 or 3 weeks ago. Picked it up 2 or 3 weeks ago from Indiana, brought it down here to Tennessee, and found these problems. So I think, so whatever it was, it's just from time, I believe. So I'm thinking it's got to be like seals or something small like that, but we shall see. And I don't have a test gauge or anything to check my actual pressures on the boom. Which I probably should look into getting one of those, because everything I read online says that's your number one thing to go to. Is if you don't know that, you really can't pinpoint the problem. So, alright, let me get started on that, and then I'll see you back when those hoses are on. I have a decent amount of tools, but I've never had good wrenches, so I went and picked up some quality wrenches. Now I'll never have that problem. So, continue back where I left off, taking these hoses off and putting the new ones back on, and I'll come back with an update once I get that going. Alright, I'll show you on the tractor first then. We got hose, it's in the book, it's hose 5 and 6. So we got those off, which is going to be the in and out, which comes down into the hydraulic block. See if I can get you up there. Right there. So these two hoses go into the block right there. So I took those out, took them off. And they're over here. I'll show you in the book. So let's see. Hose 5 and 6, 10 and 11. So 10 and 11 right here. And this is just the installation manual. This is what I have. But that's that block where I just took them out of. The hydraulic block cover, pump port, hydraulic block. So it's, well, it says power beyond port, and I don't know what the other one is, maybe suction probably. So I took those out, and they're right here. So I'm going to rethread these, clean that out. Not rethread, but put some sealant on it. I'm going to reseal those, put them on there. And I don't know, I ordered some O-rings. I don't know if there's O-rings behind that or not. And I wish I had like a blown up. But the only thing, this is all I have for the loader. Let me check. Let me check the other books and see if there's something that shows you behind that block. Maybe there's some O-rings or something that go back there. So I'm going to look through the book on that. And if I go to tab 8, hydraulic system, I blow it up. So this is that block right there that I just pulled the in and out on. And it shows 120. So part number 120 is this O-ring. And I believe I did order that. So let me check. Just gonna grab all these O-rings, bring them over here. So that is 120 is 37410. So no. 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 Nope. Nope. These all look the same. How are these? I ordered all those for, unless they changed the part numbers, but I can't remember what I ordered these for. These might go behind the control valve, where each one ties in on the control valve. Those might be for that. don't remember what these before, or this one. Oh man. Alright. So, I guess I didn't order that, so I'll leave that. It wasn't leaking though, so maybe that'll be it. Maybe it was one back here, 160, 150. 160, 150. No. 060. 060. No, I didn't get anything to mess with that. Huh. I don't know. I'll have to double check. See what. Because when I bought the hydraulic lines, it said that you need those. When I bought the hydraulic lines, it said that you need those O-rings with them. So I was assuming they tied in somewhere. I guess not. But, well, I'll thread those up, put those on there, put the ends of the new ones on there, then we'll take them off the actual control valve and tie in those new hoses, and then we'll get that last one that heads to the rear. Alright, so I got the new hoses on, which run up to the block. Whoops. Run up to the control valve. And I figured out those O-rings, where they go. So they go on each one of these. And I'll pull these far off and put new seals on those. I'll show you the piece in a second. But when I pulled it off, I cleaned it a little bit, but I'm going to go try to find a wire brush. Get some sunlight here. So your hydraulic hose goes on this end, and this threads into the block. That O-ring sits on this outside. But if you can see, it was way worse. All that nasty buildup. Now it's got me wondering, something like that broke off and went up in the lines somewhere. Kind of stopped it up, which messed up the pressure. I don't know. But I'm going to take a wire brush, clean this up, put the new O-ring on, finish that hose, do this same thing for all of these. So there'll be 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, total of 7. So I'm going to have to pull these quick connects back off, pull these pieces out, clean them up, put the new O-rings on, clean all this stuff up. Maybe try to take the air hose and see if I can blow that out. I already made a mess. Oh well, it happens. So I will do that, and we'll get back with you. Also, this is not really good at filming yet, so bear with me. This video might be all over the place. Not really well put together, probably, but that's that. And also, I like learning. I like doing stuff on my own. I enjoy it. I'd rather do it myself than send it somewhere else. I don't have all the money in the world either, but I enjoy doing it myself and everything. So if I'm just doing a number of things wrong or not going about it the right way, sorry. And also, negativity isn't good for anyone. So be nice, help, but don't just ridicule. So, alright, thanks. Replaced the 3 hoses and the O-rings on the control valve. So they were the hoses going from the hydraulic block to the control valve. I'll show you here in a second. So I finished those, finished the O-rings and all those parts where they tie into the control valve, and didn't fix it. Didn't fix it. I figured it wouldn't. but it doesn't have to have new hoses. The main thing is what I thought it was, is what I purchased, is to rebuild these cylinders. That's what I'm going to start right now. But we replaced this hose, that hose, and this one back here, which 2 run to the block, and then 1 runs all the way up underneath back to the main. But same issues. So I'm going to go ahead and take these cylinders off and take them apart and put the there they are. Put these seal kits in there. See if that fixes it. Maybe not. Who knows? Alright. So, got the cylinder off. Just had to loosen. It had like, not a cotter pin, but just a pin that acted like one. Slipped out. The 2, I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but I don't know, shims or joints or whatever that held it in. Took it out, and got it apart. Right now, I'm just taking this off. I'm imagining everything slips up out. And I'm going to take it down here. I took plenty of pictures, and I have it on camera to see. And then I got the rebuild kit for it. So hopefully I'm not in over my head. But I'm sure there's other YouTube videos out there on it that if I come across something, I'll be able to get an idea. So that's where we're at. It doesn't look that bad, so I'm starting to think this isn't a problem either. But we'll rebuild them. Alright, it's the next day. Just put all the new seals in on this one. There's an O-ring behind that, and there's an O-ring down in there. And then this sleeve right here, I think this dust cap type sleeve. And there's one down inside of it, and the 2 up here, and 1 up there. There's all the old ones. I have 1 left over though. But everything I pulled off, I made sure I replaced in the same direction, so maybe they just gave you an extra. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back together, install it back on the loader, and go ahead and do the other side. Then I'll pick back up, and hopefully this solves the problem. Alright, a little update. Building the second one. This is not bad, y'all. This is much easier than I thought. People online had me kind of scared, thinking you have to take it to a professional and everything. I'm sure they're all not the same, but for the LA 351 Kubota loader, this really isn't that bad. As you take out, you just put back in pretty much the same way that you're doing it. And then there's a couple things, like I know they make a tool, like the O-rings on the inside, where you can kind of fold them in and then drop it down, and then the tool releases it so they pop in there. But I found, so here's the old one. I found it is just take a little pair of pliers, and I gripped it, and it basically does the same thing the tool does. And I just twisted it, and then pushed it down in, and then let go, and it popped right in. And This is just a little pointer. At least for me, I'm not a professional, not anything. I just like doing things on my own and learning. Just a little heads up, I'm almost finished up with the second one. We'll put it back on. And maybe it fixed it. Even if it didn't, this probably needed to be done. The notes said the last time it was rebuilt was, well, it said 99. So if the tractor was made in 98, that's probably just original. I don't think they've ever been rebuilt. So, alright, I'll get back with you. Alright, the rebuilt, put back on. Wish me luck. Oh, I hope it works. If not, either way, it needed to be done. And then the search continues. But back on, installed. I'm gonna fire it up, let it run, cycle through for a little bit. Check the hydraulic fluid, because I lost quite a bit from what was in those cylinders. So this one, cycle a little bit, check that, and then we'll test it out. I'll go grab a bucket of dirt. Hopefully it lifts it. Didn't work. I don't know what it is. It's just like really, I don't know. So I'll call it. Hopefully I can, if I post this and people watch it in like a relative quick time, and somebody can maybe know a solution or somewhere to start. But let me just show, I think it might be the control valve. I don't know. Let me just show what the problem is on camera. So we'll go ahead, fire the tractor up. Second. Alright, tractor's running. Bring the RPMs up. So right now, with no load, it does fine. But we'll go ahead. Now bucket's down. Now curl. The curl can pick the whole tractor up. Tons of power. So that's that. I don't know. Help me out. But I don't know. I'm gonna continue making videos. Nobody will probably even watch this. It'll be maybe like a year from now, 2 years from now, somebody will end up finding this, and it should be long gone, hopefully fixed by then. So that's that.